Willkommen zurück zu Let's Play The Fruit of Grisaia. Im letzten Part haben wir ja ein bisschen über Amenes Vergangenheit gerätselt, sind dann zu keiner Antwort gekommen und ja, jetzt sind wir beim Thema. Sachi würde mit uns ausgehen wollen, wenn wir sagen, dass sie mit uns ausgehen soll. Ja, mal gucken, was jetzt noch so kommt. Wie gesagt, die Story, wo das alles hinauslaufen soll, ist eigentlich noch total unklar. Ah, I see. Thank you for your valuable opinion. I'll file it under not helpful in the slightest. How about you, Sakaki?
私があなたと手をつないでデート
Right, got any interest?
困ったわ。どう答えればあなたを傷つけずに済むのかしら。
Das ist eine gute Antwort. I get the picture. Thanks so much for your compassion. So in the end, asking around didn't get me anything resembling a clear answer. From what Sakaki says, it doesn't seem like Amane wants to hold hands indiscriminately. The mystery's only deepened.
大丈夫、マキナ。そこ狭いからぶつけないようにね。大丈夫。
Klong! Das war so klar.
なんで言ってるそばからぶつけるかな、あんたは。私はそういう生き物なのよさ。
Just at that moment, Amane enters the classroom, pulling Makina by the hand, obviously to our gossiping. I point my thumb toward the pair and their connected hands. Boah, Entschuldigung. Schluck auf. You said Amane doesn't have a habit of holding hands, right?
まあ、イリスさんは特別。手をつないでおかないと。 ふらふらとどこかへ行っちゃうような子だし。
Sakaki watches Amane and Makina as she speaks. Suddenly, she claps her hands together as if struck by a burst of insight.
あなた、あの子と同列に見られているのではないかしら。
Say what? Wait, what? I've been put in this same category? With a kid like this, who you half expect to get lost tottering after a butterfly? What a serious, unpleasant thought.
スオさんは面倒見がいいのよ。なんていうか、言葉は悪いけど、きっとダメ男が好きなんじゃないかしら。
I appreciate that you're probably trying to help, but that's basically an indirect way of saying you look like a hopeless man.
そう言ったつもりだけど。
Sakaki, could you please stop rubbing salt in the wound without even realizing it? It kind of stings.
あら、心外だわ。これでも随分と高評価しているつもりなのだけれど。
Mind answering one last question for me?
何かしら。
Is there even a single normal person in the school?
言ったでしょ。まともならこんな学園になんていないわよ。あなたを含めてね。
True enough. Don't think you've got some special variety of unhappiness. Sensing the admonition underneath Sakaki's words, I feel the stirrings of something like shame. Whether it's normal or not, the student life isn't bad in its own way. I've started to like this place enough to reach that conclusion. Tja. Und schon wieder ist ein bisschen Zeit vergangen. A hobby is a window that gives you a fresh perspective on the world, or so my sister said. But when I was a kid, struggling through my daily life was about all I could handle. I disliked and avoided change, even when it might have brought me something new. So my sister's recommendation was to at least try reading books. That sister of mine was an unbelievably voracious bookworm herself, and she began to put the ones she finished on me. I soon picked up a reading habit, although I didn't find any particular meaning in it at the time. My sister is dead now, as are my parents and my master, yet I'm still reading. The sister who taught me to read books. The parents who weren't angry at me when I was reading books. And the master who praised me for reading books, buying me as many as I wanted. I'm grateful to them now, since I found some meaning in the act of reading.
風見くん、
Huh?
今少し時間大丈夫かしら？
Oh mein Gott, was ist jetzt passiert? Ist die Welt untergegangen oder was ist los? Warum will Yumiko irgendwas von uns? Yeah? I turn around in response to Yumiko's greeting and find her carrying a sizable load of paperback and hardcover books.
読み終わった本を持ってきたのだけれど、読む？
Sure, appreciate it, as always.
いいのよ。私も読み終わった本の始末ができて楽だから。
As anyone with a long-term reading habit is well aware, books pile up before you know it. Oh ja. Oh ja, das tun sie wirklich. That said, it's hard to just throw them away, and sending them to a used bookstore feels disrespectful to the author. The ideal is to find another avid reader to dump them on. Incidentally, before I came, Sakaki had apparently been pushing the books she finished onto the library. By now she's established her own private shelf in there, full of pleasure reads. Most likely, she spotted me by coincidence as she was carrying her books there, and figured she could save herself the walk. Okay. Sehr schön. Werde ich einfach mal wohin gefügt und ja. Skype halt. Erstmal auf beschäftigt stellen. Heavy, right? Here. I slide my hands under the books Sakaki is carrying.
ちょっと。
Watch it. Don't take your hands off yet. The books are going to fall.
あなたの手が私の手に触れているのだけれど。
Of course it is. Don't worry, my hygienic standards are higher than you might expect.
そういうことじゃなくて。
You're complaining too much, alright? I've got a hold on them. You can let go.
少し無神経よ、あなた。
That's so? Anyway, I gratefully read the books. When I finish one, I return it to the Sakaki collection. So if you want to reread any of them, they'll be in the library.
わかったわ。それじゃあ私は失礼するわね。
Yeah. I take a quick look at the titles of the books I'm holding. Sohei Akai, the Decisive Pudding Battle. Klingt interessant. Kumabata Takeru, Yesterday's Black Cat, Hirao Atsuko, or Atsuko, The Exit of the Desert, Seno Takumi, Professor Takeda's Dinner, Ethan Crow, An Insolent Woman, Shino Nome Katsuma, You Blew It, Omori. Although she reads quite a variety of genres and authors, it seems that Sakaki fundamentally likes whodunits? Of the 6 books she passes me, 4 are mysteries. Come to think of it, I could easily see Sakaki sitting at a detective's desk, using her brains for a living. Flipping open one of the books, I speak towards the shadow of a nearby pillar. Machina, how long do you plan on hiding there? I'm not mad or anything. How about come out? You come out.
なんで私だってわかったのよさ。
Niemand würde sich da so verstecken vielleicht? Your aura is too crude. I can't sense you even when you're hidden.
そんなこと言われたの初めてなのよさ。
I just said that for the hell of it. You were casting a shadow on the floor. I could tell it was you from the hate and that staggy head.
隠れるにしても雑すぎってこと？
Pretty much. Why were you hiding in the first place?
別に隠れてたわけじゃないのよさ。お兄ちゃんとユミちゃんのお話が終わるまでじっと黙ってただけなのよ。
You don't get along with Sakaki?
そういうわけじゃないのよ。でもユミちゃんはきっと私のことあんま好きじゃないと思うのよさ。
本当だ。Huh? On the other hand, I'm pretty sure Sakaki said something like, I think Irizu-san avoids me on purpose. You're in a state of mutual wariness. Well, I suppose that does happen sometimes. Sakaki, a guarded person who doesn't reveal her thoughts easily, and Makina, who feels most secure when she's burrowed her way into someone's heart. Their personal comfort zones may be incompatible. Well, it's foolish to expect everyone to get along with everyone else in the entire world. There's no need to forcibly push these two together, but at the very last, maybe a mutual compromise is called for. I don't think Sakaki dislikes you, Makina, so try not to hate her yourself.
だから別に嫌ってないし、ただなんていうか、何を話していいのかもわかんないし。
I see.
むしろ逆に聞くけど、お兄ちゃんはどうやってあの気難しいユミちゃんと年頃な間柄になったの？
Das ist eine gute Frage. Ich habe keine Ahnung, was ich getan habe. Das Einzige, was ich machen wollte, war sie begrüßen. Sie wollte mich umbringen über mehrere Tage und dann hat sie es irgendwann sein gelassen. Und ja, jetzt ist es so, wie es ist und ich habe keine Ahnung. Well, it's not like we're particularly close, but we have a common interest in books. So I guess that helped get things started. Of course, I get the idea. Sakaki mostly views me as little more than a convenient book disposal. Oh Mann. Ja gut, so kann man auch Leute abstempeln. After all, it's hard to say you're friendly with someone who scolds so bluntly just because your hands touch. Makina, do you have any hobbies?
趣味？そうね。強いて言えば散歩ぐらい？
Solo?
大抵一人で。
That's not good.
なんでさ、一人遊びってなんかちょっとエッチっぽくてよくない？
Okay, das kann man jetzt komplett anders verstehen, aber der Gesichtsausdruck und die Reaktion finde ich irgendwie ganz lustig. No, also, no.
あれ
At the company I work at, solitary hobbies are fundamentally discouraged. They place a lot of stress on keeping up some form of communication with others. When it comes to the interest of the employees, the basics are alcohol, women, and gambling, but it's a bit difficult to own up to that in front of the boss. Therefore, when asked, some of them just came up with a safe-sounding, conventional hobby like shogi or go. When the superiors reacted favorably to those answers, the end result was that the hobbies column in the employee survey data recorded an overwhelming number of shogi buffs. Although going with the flow is pretty much the defining Japanese characteristics, it's still something of a pathetic story. Well, having given them a nice safe hobby like reading myself, I guess I can't really say too much. Nothing, just talking to myself. Incidentally, once you're the one giving the surveys out, in other words, an executive type, the hobby of choice would be gardening. Not something you can do when you're living out of a barracks.
趣味ってそんなに大事?
Yeah, it's better to have some interest than not, even if they're really worthless. For example, the aforementioned employees and their wine, woman, and song. Even then, if they can help you find a single common interest with someone, your hobbies are worthwhile as social lubricant, even if they're worthless in every other respect. This is something I heard secondhand from a senior employee at my job, but sometimes you get cases like this. This is a story about a man who took a business trip to Gifu Prefecture. It was a group expedition with the purpose of field testing new equipment that had just been deployed throughout his company. At the time, the man in question was a new employee, not even out of his training period. Nonetheless, he found himself taking a long, bumpy ride into the mountains on a company bus, accompanied by the chief of his special department. The man didn't have the first clue why he had been selected for the trip, let alone what he'd be expected to do on it. To make matters worse, he was sitting next to a powerful superior he barely knew. In short, the man was about ready to vomit from sheer terror and anxiety. He fought desperately to keep calm, but his face was pale as a sheet. The bus finally reached its destination at the foot of Mount Kinka in Gifu after many unpleasant hours. But the man's relief was temporary, as his boss informed him they would be attending a large banquet in a high-class inn that night. Corporate banquets are basically a cruel kind of talent show. New employees were expected to perform some skills for the amusement to the gathered VIPs. The newbies from each department mounted the stage one after the other, Quite a few croaked but popular karaoke ballads with stiff faces, but there were also some pretty competent juggling acts. Even one stand-up comedy duo, which got some laughs doing imitations of superiors. The man watched the other acts with a fluttering heart. His turn was approaching fast, but he was basically a walking, breathing lump of artistic incompetence and a social type without a single talent worth performing in front of others. Just as he was wondering whether he could escape by pretending a sudden illness, the man was practically kicked out onto the stage by the senior employees. For lack of a better thought, he started to sing. Und wie das jetzt weitergeht mit der Geschichte, ob wir damit Makina wieder irgendwie verängstigen, weil es ja jetzt die zweite Geschichte ist, die wir erzählen, werden wir dann im nächsten Part sehen. Ich sag bis zum nächsten Mal. Bis dahin viel Spaß und tschüss.